There's a thing that happens at some point or another in everybody's life. They lose a friend. But what does that really mean, and what is the value of that? When one first begins to interact with others socially, it is very quickly realized that not everyone is of your blood, so to speak. We're all human, and we all deserve love, but certain people get along better than others. But there's a part of this that goes beyond that. A part of this that at some point realizes the profound truth of what causes these things to break. A profound incompatibility. It is true that sometimes people put in not enough effort. But if everything happens for a reason, then there must be a reason that they did. Must be something that caused that. When I think of losing people, the losses that count the most towards my conscience and weigh on me most heavily are the ones that I am not sure if they should have happened. When I am mistreated, it is easy to forget somebody because I know that leaving their side is better for me in the long run. But if we push forward a little bit, if we look into the parts of that change in different types of relationships, it is very quickly realized that being better off does not have to mean that somebody was hurting you or disrespecting you in any way. Sometimes, when two people come together, or multiple people, it is realized that what they plan to do and what they desire does not give and take with each other. This happens a lot with online relationships, and I like to think of it as a web. In person, you have things that you can reach out and grab onto, although I probably wouldn't grab your friend's arm out of the blue. Online, you don't have this. And figuratively, what this means is that every time you and someone come together, it is realized that all that you can offer is reciprocation, is understanding. But not at a deep level, because you are not with this person, because there is nothing that they can give back to you. And I don't mean this in a materialistic way of the giving of gifts or other physical means. I mean it in the sense that they are on the outskirts of your web. A spider does not build a big web to catch bugs at the edge of it. It builds it to catch it at the center. But anywhere within an acceptable radius of where the spider is, it can tell. And that's you. Only you're not here to eat or consume whoever lands where you are. But this is what happens often in online relationships. It can happen in person too, but most often in online relationships, you are at the edge of someone's web. You are discarded like so much garbage. And not to say that they don't care. If they may decide to, they may decide to commit. But there is a fallacy in this. This idea that as you go about your life, things will be the same as they once were. If you look back a mere 100 years ago, none of this would have been possible. And perhaps it was common for people to have pen pals, but it was never realized in the same way. There was never this fake sense of connection that we now have thanks to the internet. And when I look at this in my life, all I can think of is the connections online that I've lost and I've been sad over, but I shouldn't be. Because in person, there is a profound sense of honesty and goodness in actions. And so too, this means it hurts more when someone hurts you. But how are you to know if you never see someone? And I mean truly see them. Because when we can control every word we speak, when there is no time limit on when we have to respond, we are not ourselves. We are as if a letter. We view people and they view us as letters for a job, requesting an interview. And every day carries on like this. Not out of purposeful, but simply by the nature of not being close to someone. But this doesn't mean that people online can do no harm either. Because while they may not be able to get close, there is a profound concept that follows everyone regardless of whether they choose to acknowledge it. Those that bring you down, those that weigh you down, will constantly limit you. Because this is one more thing, one more person that you have to worry about. And even if you have little to worry about in your life, it's still a drawback. And we think, well, we have chosen this, it's too late to turn back now. But understand that these people you know online, likely you will not know in 10 years. The people who meet their online friends are far and few between. And those that do, it's rare that things reach the level of a normal in-person friendship. It is important in everything you do to consider exactly what matters in your relationships. For if it is connection you desire, the internet cannot provide that. For if it is closeness you desire, the internet cannot provide that. For if it is peace you desire, the internet cannot provide that. And what one realizes as they carry on is that all of this means that sometimes it's okay to let people go. And they'll be hurt. No doubt our human emotions still shine through this fake facade that is the internet. And they might remember you. But eventually, it is realized that what truly matters is what is real, what is in front of you, what is of your person. We live our lives with this understanding that we have a time limit every day of what we can accomplish. It's understood that there are 24 hours. We will spend 8 of them sleeping, if we're lucky, and another hour, hour and a half eating, and the rest is room to do what is necessary and do what is good. But it is never thought of as attention, as energy. And even those that live in a constant state of sleep deprivation think that they have all this time in the day, think that it is worthy for naught because, after all, they're only young. And even if they weren't, still too, the time that they would have left would be long. But time is not the only factor. It is attention. It is energy. It is everything that you came here to do. Life is not as simple as simply reading from a script and doing as you are told. And we must manage not just our time, but our energy. And what is an online relationship if not taking away from this energy? What if instead of talking to your friend for an hour, you had gone outside, tried to make friends with somebody? Because there are good people all around. And looking online, sometimes it can feel like that's not true. Sometimes it can feel like the people you see don't mean a lot, or that they are bad people. But most of us, I like to think, are good and honest people. and some people have bad luck. But know that you are stronger because of it. And it sounds like a cliche, perhaps even offensive to some depending on what you've been through. But know that you are still standing here today. And the fact that you are alive means that you matter to someone out there. It's not a matter of if, but of who. And you will matter to someone out there. So the takeaway that I'd like to share is treat every day not just as a time limit, but as something to be cherished, an energy that you have that you shouldn't use up right away. You shouldn't do things that make the rest of the day for naught. And of course, relaxation is important. But if you could get back all of the hours spent talking to people online, if you could get back all of the people that you felt this false, emphasized sense of attachment to online, the hours spent talking to them, would you not be better off for it? And this is what I ask you to consider today. Know that it is not wrong to prioritize yourself. For sometimes to care for yourself is to care for others. If you spent less time online, would the people around you notice a change in you, a shift? Would you change? I know I have, and I will again, at times such as when I don't waste my time in this way. Consider what your life could be. A lot of people spend a great portion of their lives thinking, well, if I only had this, if I only had that. You do already. For, in realistic terms, the ability for you to get something is directly attached to not just how much effort you're willing to put in, but what you're willing to give up. And sometimes to make your life more real, you have to give up what feels real. Because the internet is designed to addict you. It's designed to feel real, but not really be real. And look outwards into the world and see all the people smiling and happy. If this isn't you already, it could be and it will be you. Channel your energy. Put it into what is right, and you will be happier. Thank you for watching.